How's it going? How are you all? Today, Raquel and I are bringing you a review of two bikes that are a lot, and I mean a lot, of fun. We're talking about the Moterra Super Light from Cannondale. And on one hand, we have this LAB71 model, which theoretically on paper is the lightest full power e-bike ever produced. Among other things, because it has special carbon fibers that we can only find ultra lightweight in Cannondale's LAB71 products. This one is configured as a Mullet with a 29-inch front wheel and a 27.5-inch rear wheel. And Raquel is going to tell us what she's testing. Let's see, I'll leave this here. Tell us, Raquel, what are you working on?
And here we have the Super Light 2 range, the entry-level model of the series, equipped with two 29-inch wheels, both front and rear. Let's check its weight, features, and handling. What do you think? Let's go.
Let's go all out. With a certain size, and that's it. With a motor or without a motor, it doesn't matter. Let's go point by point to understand how Cannondale managed to produce such a lightweight bike. But before anything else, we need to understand what Cannondale describes as a full power e-bike. For them, this category includes all bikes equipped with a motor of at least 85 Nm of torque and a battery of at least 600 dacia. In this sense, it's true that within the market, this bike, at least in mass production, is lightweight. Extremely lightweight if we compare it to any other competitor.
Let's go point by point.
To begin with, it comes equipped with a Shimano EP 801 motor, which is already one of the lightest on the market, with 85 MU and 600 Wh of maximum power. Then we have a battery with a 601 watt charging capacity. The flex pivot system is very important, and it's already being used in the Scalpo cross country. It's from years ago. Basically, what it does is that by flexing the carbon, it replaces a physical pivot point and saves between 200 and 300 grams of weight. Aren't you worried about the carbon braking? Because it's been in the World Cup for years and it's actually a well-proven system. And on the other hand, yeah, we have all the bikes that come standard with the Mullet system, so you always end up saving a little bit of weight. Between the smaller rim and the smaller 27.5 tire on the rear part, you might be freaking out and saying, but come on, those bikes have a motor, so weight isn't that important, but it seems like it actually is.
The point isn't how it goes uphill, but how it goes downhill. Many of you have likely tried e-bikes, some weighing 25 kilos.
Those aluminum ones especially are very heavy.
Even with those, going downhill feels like carrying a gas cylinder, right?
It's mainly about handling. That's what sets brands apart, how you go downhill, handle, and ride.
But that's where the importance of weight lies.
Well, you'll see this bike stands out mainly for its agility. In the end, less weight means much more maneuverability than other competitors. Good call, Raquel on the right. And that what makes it so that in these kinds of tight, twisty sections, the bike feels super, super agile. On the other hand, no, not that way, right? Raquel, you're going to hurt yourself. This woman is crazy. Here. Oh, I saw the ambulance. I'll continue explaining if Raquel doesn't kill me. Impacts. With its slack 62.5 degree steering angle, the front absorbs everything. And then, if you're lucky enough to hit a straight section, high speed, with a lot of elevation change, the bike feels stable due to its long wheelbase and slack steering angle. So, on the other hand, the rear on this Mullet is balanced, you know? It feels very agile, it's easy to get into the turn. I'm talking about the rear triangle, okay? Or am I wrong? Overall, it's a bike that's very easy to enjoy and very easy to maneuver in areas where you'd expect it. They shouldn't be so suitable for full power bikes like these. Do you see geometry? 3 interesting points about the concept that Cannondale presents to us regarding these. 160 millimeters of travel in the front and 150 in the rear. To begin with, we have a head angle of 62.5 degrees. It's absolutely insane. These numbers directly rival some World Cup downhill bikes. Can you imagine how easy it is to jump over obstacles with this head angle? On the other hand, I'm very positively surprised that the reach is very balanced. There are many other brands these days that have really increased the reach a lot, making the biker's position very stretched out on the bike. And here really, it doesn't force you to work too much with your torso, with the upper part of your body. And it's something that somehow balances out that very slack head angle on the bike. I see it as very positive and always worth highlighting about Cannondale. Regarding sizes, which has to do with the structure, they design each size independently. So not only does the front frame adapt to the biker's size, whether they're taller or shorter, but the rear triangle also grows in proportion. This ensures that both a 1.90 meter tall person and someone 1.50 meters tall are accommodated. That the bicycle has been specifically designed for their size, and it's not just an adaptation of a size M that's been stretched up or down. And finally, an aesthetic detail, which is this dramatic sloping that also gives the bicycle excellent handling in very twisty areas. And also, it means you don't need to have a handlebar lock, because as you can see, the controls never actually hit the frame. And well, it's a feature that is beneficial in every way.
The saddle angle at 77 degrees is perfect for pedaling for hours. And with a lot of comfort and efficiency. Let's go. Daniel Race is getting away from me. This model comes with a special feature, and that's because before, Shimano always worked with 3 assist modes, and this time it comes with 4. These are Eco Mode, Trail 1, Trail 2, and Boost for when you need maximum power.
Raquel, maybe there are people who are worried about that, right? Of course, the battery is only 601 watt-hours. It's hard to standardize exactly how long a battery lasts, but tell me about your experience going out with this one.
Danny, what did we do today? 2 hours, 2?
Hours and a quarter, 40 kilometers and 1100 meters of elevation gain.
I have to tell you that when I ride an e-bike, I go as fast as the e-bike lets me. I don't pay attention to the assistance modes. When I reach an uphill, I use Boost to go up. I'm just there to have fun.
There are
to skim,
right?
And so for what I use it for, it works perfectly for me. This battery life fits my needs, I would say.
I've managed to stretch it to around 2 hours and 45 minutes using all the modes and with significant elevation gain. I used whatever I wanted without thinking much. 2 hours, 45 minutes. Me, what do you want me to say? I don't notice any difference compared to a standard Shimano 650 watt-hour battery, but this one is definitely lighter. I guess it's because of the high cell density and the energy optimization and all that. And compared to one of those huge 850 watt-hour batteries and so on, well, yes, those can give you more. Well, maybe. In my case, instead of 2 hours and 45 minutes, or on the same kind of ride, it might give me maybe 3 hours and 5 minutes. For me, it's not worth it. I'd prefer to carry less and take 2 hours and 45 minutes. I feel the same way than carrying a butane cylinder.
Exactly, that's what we said.
And being there for 3 hours, 3 hours, 10, right? No?
For me, that's more than enough.
Yes, for the concept of an e-bike with full power as you and I see it. You can add a range extender for more capacity. It adds weight, but I prefer it. Me too.
Me too.
That's another thing people worry about, is having to choose between Mullet or 29 inches. Fortunately, this bike can take either a 29 or a 27.5-inch rear wheel with the flip chip. You change it here in the back on the linkage, and that's it. I, Raquel, don't know how you see it, but for me, the Mullet is like the perfect setup for riding feel, for performance. you're closer to the ground and have better rear wheel traction. It's a little lighter because obviously the rim and the tire are smaller. Most importantly, the slack head angle on this bike balances the rear triangle well. It's like the bike goes into corners great. It weaves incredibly. But then in terms of practicality, it's a real pain.
I'm not sure if you mean carrying spare parts. Let's discuss spare parts. 21 and 27.5. You need to carry 2 inner tubes on the road.
2 types of inner tubes at least, exactly.
What could happen? Do you also want to use the front wheel on the back?
You've already worn it down a bit, so now you can't anymore.
So these things, what do you want me to say? For me personally, I try to look for practicality.
You have practicality in the 29.
Right there, yes.
Here you can just carry a single 29 tube to cover a possible flat on any wheel. After some wear, move the front tire to the back.
You save weight.
But in terms of handling, it's true that in a straight line at high speed you're going to fly. It's completely different. You'll easily get over obstacles, but moving in tight spots will be much harder. Rear wheel traction isn't the same, whether going downhill or uphill with boost. That's a real tractor with a reducer, like a 4-wheel drive. This one doesn't have as much traction. No. For me, the feeling is, well, in this one, they're not as powerful when it comes to driving, but I understand the
practicality, they're different, yes?
Hey, in a perfect world, you could switch between 27.5-inch and 29-inch wheels based on your ride.
Yes, let's go.
Now ready. Very interesting, of course, the weight of this MOTERRA super light bike in the highest LAB71 range. Right now, just as it would come stock, without pedals, of course, with a bottle cage. And yes, this one is already tubeless. 14,000 euros worth of e-bike on the scale. And there we have 20 kilos, 180 grams. Below that would be the MOTERRA super light one, which would cost 10,000 euros. We can expect it to gain a few grams. And below that, right below is the model that Raquel is using, which is the Superlight 2, starting at 8,000 euros. We can also expect it to weigh a bit more on the scale.
Features we've seen from both bikes and details. One of them would be that on the Superlight, the wiring comes out of the head tube, while on the LAB71, it only comes out of the headset. We've also noticed the motor protection, which we really liked, because if you look, it follows the line of the frame and it's a very sleek finish. You can hardly see it. Another thing we've also noticed is the cover where you charge the battery. What do you want me to say? We didn't like that a premium level bike has such a simple cap.
Raquel, time for conclusions. Let's go.
Let's go. The
most anticipated part of the video. Most importantly, I believe we should explain the profile and main target audience for this bike. And I think there's one thing that needs to be mentioned above all. There are a lot of full power e-bikes on the market that do the work for you. In a way, the biker doesn't have to worry about so many things, especially on the descent. That's not the case. This is the case. Rather, I think mainly this product targets those lifelong enduro riders, the ones who do enduro with their lungs and muscles, whatever you want to call it, who want to make the switch to an e-bike but want to keep as much as possible the feeling of an enduro bike. That you have to control, that you have to steer, and that doesn't do everything for you.
If someone is going to be an amateur, well, I think they'll have a long learning process over time, but it can also be a good option. Yes?
They'll end up getting used to it, of course, but is it the right profile? I think it's the enduro rider, the very technical one who wants to go everywhere. I don't know. I see it as a...
Can an enduro rider really have fun with this 27-29 option?
Also, all right, let's go to the positives and negatives. But we've found that being able to ride the 29 Mullet is very agile, very light.
Exactly.
And above all, the flex pivot suspension system. Although it's true that personally I haven't noticed as much of a difference as you can see in cross country. In the end, you have a much bigger, heavier beast. But it also makes the whole setup lighter and gives you extra traction. Positive.
And let's move on to the negative points, although there aren't many. Right, Danny? It's
hard to find them. What we don't
been convinced by is the charger cap. Yes, where you charge it.
We've talked about it. I don't know. It's something that doesn't match the overall quality of the bike.
On steep climbs, the 27.5-inch rear wheel causes it to lift up a lot. It doesn't give you much choice to
Yes, in this model you can really tell when there's a lot of...
slope. You lean forward and it lifts up a lot, right?
Is it hard to handle? But
With this one, you don't notice it?
no, the 29 cancels this out.
You notice it at 27.5. Is this what you meant?
Well, there you have the pros and cons that we've been able to find. What score would you give these bikes from 1 to 10? Comment below. And you know, give the video a big like. There's always a lot of work behind them. And also follow the channel if you haven't done so yet. So that's it. Be happy, right?
Exactly, and enjoy a lot.
All right, bye-bye.